Imagine stepping into a sea of over 1 million young voices, all united under the Roman sky, as the sun dips low and the air hums with anticipation. That's exactly what happened on August 2nd, 2025, at Tor Vergata, just outside Rome, during the Youth Jubilee, a massive gathering that's part of the Vatican's Holy Year celebrations. Picture this: flags waving from every corner of the globe, pilgrims who've traveled thousands of miles, and in the midst of it all, the Italian operatic pop trio Il Volo takes the stage, their harmonies cutting through the night like a divine whisper. If you're a fan of soul-stirring music that blends classical vibes with modern heart, this performance was nothing short of mesmerizing. But don't just take my word for it. Let's unpack this magical evening together, and I'll throw in some questions along the way to get your thoughts buzzing in the comments. First off, who are Il Volo, and why were they the perfect fit for this event? These three talented guys, Piero Barone, Ignazio Baschetto, and Gianluca Ginobili, burst onto the scene back in 2009 as teenagers on Italy's Ti Lascio Una Canzone, a talent show that launched them into stardom. Their style? A killer mix of operatic tenor power, pop accessibility, and that unmistakable Italian passion. They've sold millions of albums, toured the world, and even won the Sanremo Music Festival in 2015 with their hit, Grande Amore. Fast forward to 2025, and they're still captivating audiences, fresh off their album, Ad Astra, and a world tour that's packing arenas. What makes them special for a Vatican event? Their music often draws on spiritual themes. Think renditions of Ave Maria at past World Youth Days, or heartfelt ballads that echo faith and hope. Have you caught any of their live shows? Drop your favorite Il Volo memory in the comments. I'd love to hear if they've ever moved you to tears. Now zoom in on the Youth Jubilee itself. This wasn't just any concert. It was a pivotal moment in the Holy Year's lineup, running from July 28th to August 3rd, 2025. With the main vibes kicking off at Tor Vergata. Organized by the Vatican, the event drew roughly 1 million young Catholics from around the world, focusing on themes like friendship, prayer, and courage in a time when the world feels pretty chaotic. Pope Leo XIV, the Chicago-born pontiff who's only been in the role for about 100 days, helicoptered into massive cheers, cruising the crowd in his Pope Mobile and even catching a tennis ball tossed his way. He accepted a deep dish pizza from his fave Chicago spot, Aurelio's, sparking chants of Viva Il Papa. It's moments like these that make faith feel alive and relatable, right? If you could gift the Pope something from your hometown, what would it be? Share below. Maybe it'll inspire a future video. As the evening built to its emotional peak, the prayer vigil began with the liturgy of the Word and Eucharistic adoration. That's when Il Volo stepped up, joining the Vatican choir and orchestra for a performance that had everyone on their feet or knees, depending on the moment. They kicked things off with the Jubilee hymn, Pilgrims of Hope, belting it out in Italian, Spanish, and English to connect with the diverse crowd. Imagine the lyrics soaring. We are pilgrims of hope, walking in the light. It's the official anthem for the Holy Year, composed to inspire unity and perseverance. But the real showstopper? Their rendition of the Magnificat, a soulful piece by Monsignor Marco Frisina, performed right after the exposition of the Blessed Sacrament. With Piero's soaring tenor, Ignazio's warm baritone, and Gianluca's rich tone blending seamlessly, it was like the heavens opened up. Videos from the night show the trio in crisp suits, spotlit against the massive cross, as the crowd swayed with phone lights twinkling like stars. The energy was electric. Eyewitness accounts described chills running down spines, tears flowing freely, and a sense of profound peace settling over the massive gathering. One fan on social media called it a very moving and inspiring moment, while another highlighted how the multilingual hymn bridged cultures, making everyone feel included. Even Pope Leo XIV gave them a shout-out during the vigil, praising Il Volo and Frisina for the beautiful music that elevated the entire experience. It's no wonder. Their voices didn't just entertain. They evoked the event's core message of hope amid global challenges like wars in Gaza and Ukraine, which the Pope addressed directly, urging the youth to build a world of fraternity. Quick poll for you. On a scale of 1 to 10, how emotional do performances like this make you? Vote in the comments and explain why. Social media exploded post-performance. Fans shared clips of the Magnificat, with hashtags like Il Volo Vatican and Jubilee 2025 lighting up feeds. One TikTok video captured the trio's harmonies intertwining with the orchestra, racking up views and comments like, "This gave me goosebumps." Instagram Reels showed close-ups of their expressive faces, the crowd's adoration, and even behind-the-scenes glimpses from fan pages. Not everyone was thrilled. Some lighthearted jabs online poked fun at the punishment of starting with Il Volo for the rowdy youth, but overall, the consensus was pure awe. It reminded many of their past Vatican gigs, like singing Ave Maria at World Youth Day in 2019, proving Il Volo's knack for sacred spaces. If you've seen similar faith-infused concerts, like Matt Maher or The Sun, who also performed at the Jubilee, which one tops your list? Let's debate in the replies. Wrapping this up, Il Volo's set wasn't just a concert. It was a bridge between tradition and today's youth, turning a religious vigil into an unforgettable celebration of faith, music, and community. As the night ended with the Pope departing by helicopter to roaring applause, it left everyone inspired to carry that hope forward. Whether you're a diehard Il Volo fan or just discovering them, this performance shows how music can touch the soul in profound ways. You're standing in the heart of Rome's Tor Vergata, surrounded by 1 million young pilgrims from every corner of the world, their voices blending in prayer and song under a twinkling night sky. It's August 2nd, 2025, and the Youth Jubilee, a highlight of the Vatican's holy year, is alive with faith, hope, and unity that cuts through borders and languages. Suddenly, Il Volo, Piero Barone, Ignazio Baschetto, and Gianluca Ginobili steps onto the stage, their operatic pop harmonies hitting like a divine spark that lights up the entire crowd. If you're into music that grabs your soul, mixing classical grandeur with raw, modern emotion, this performance was a masterpiece. Let's dive deep into why Il Volo's set at the Youth Jubilee 2025 left over 1 million hearts spellbound, and I'm tossing in questions to get your thoughts flowing in the comments. Ready? Let's go! So, who are Il Volo, and why were they the perfect choice to headline this sacred moment? Picture 3 Italian teens bursting onto the scene in 2009 on the talent show Ti lascio una canzone, wowing the world with their unique blend of operatic power, pop accessibility, and that fiery Italian passion. Fast forward to 2025, and Piero, Ignazio, and Gianluca are global stars, with millions of albums sold, a 2015 Sanremo win for their anthem, Grande Amore, and a fresh 2025 album, Ad Astra, fueling a world tour packing arenas from New York to Tokyo. Their music often leans into spiritual vibes. Think their haunting Ave Maria at past World Youth Days or soaring ballads that scream faith and hope. It's no wonder the Vatican tapped them for this massive youth gathering. Their voices carry centuries of tradition but hit young audiences right in the feels. What's the Il Volo song that stops you in your tracks? Drop it in the comments and let me know if it's a tearjerker or an uplifting banger. Now, let's set the scene for the Youth Jubilee. This wasn't just a concert. It was the emotional peak of a week-long event from July 28th to August 3rd, 2025, drawing roughly 1 million young Catholics to Rome's Tor Vergata. The Holy Year, themed around hope, brought together pilgrims from countless countries, all reflecting on friendship, prayer, and courage in a world grappling with chaos. Think wars, division, and uncertainty. The vibe was electric, with flags waving, multilingual chants, and a sense of shared purpose. Enter Pope Leo XIV, the Chicago-born pontiff, just 100 days into his papacy. He arrived by helicopter, rolled through the crowd in his Pope Mobile, and caught a tennis ball tossed by an enthusiastic pilgrim. Then, in a nod to his roots, he accepted a deep-dish pizza from Chicago's Aurelio's, sparking wild cheers and chants of "Viva Il Papa." Moments like these make faith feel alive, relatable, and downright fun. If you could gift the Pope something iconic from your hometown, what would it be? A local delicacy, a sports jersey, or something totally wild? Share in the comments. I'm betting we'll get some epic ideas. As the night shifted into a sacred prayer vigil, with the liturgy of the Word and Eucharistic adoration, Il Volo took center stage alongside the Vatican choir and orchestra. Their performance wasn't just a set list, it was a spiritual journey. They kicked off with the Jubilee hymn, Pilgrims of Hope, sung in Italian, Spanish, and English to connect with the global crowd. The lyrics, "We are pilgrims of hope, walking in the light," echoed the Holy Year's call to persevere through tough times. Then came the moment everyone's still talking about. Their rendition of the Magnificat, a soul-stirring piece by Monsignor Marco Frisina, performed right after the Blessed Sacrament was exposed. Piero's piercing tenor sword, Ignazio's warm baritone grounded the melody, and Gianluca's rich tone tied it all together, backed by the orchestra's swelling strings. Videos from the night show the trio in sharp suits, lit by spotlights against a towering cross, while the crowd swayed, phone lights glowing like a sea of stars. Can you imagine being there, feeling those harmonies wash over you? On a scale of 1 to 10, how much would a moment like this hit you emotionally? Vote in the comments and tell me why. Did a past concert ever move you like this? The crowd's reaction was unreal. Eyewitnesses described chills, tears, and a profound sense of peace settling over the million-strong gathering. Social media erupted with fans calling it a divine experience and praising the multilingual hymn for making everyone feel included, no matter where they came from. Pope Leo XIV himself gave Il Volo and Frisina a shout-out during the vigil, thanking them for music that lifts the soul and ties directly to the Jubilee's message of hope amid global crises like the wars in Gaza and Ukraine, which he urged the youth to counter with fraternity and peace. The performance wasn't just beautiful, it was a call to action. Online, clips of the Magnificat flooded TikTok, racking up millions of views with comments like, "This gave me goosebumps." Instagram Reels captured the trio's expressive faces, the crowd's awe, and even some behind-the-scenes shots from fan pages. Sure, there were a few playful jabs online. Some called Il Volo's opening a challenge for the hyped-up youth, but the overwhelming response was pure adoration. It harked back to their 2019 World Youth Day, Ave Maria, proving their naturals at sacred spaces. Have you seen other faith-fueled performances like Matt Maher or The Sun, who also rocked the Jubilee? Which one's your top pick and why? Let's hash it out in the comments. This wasn't just a concert. It was a bridge between the Vatican's ancient traditions and the energy of today's youth, turning a prayer vigil into a celebration of faith, music, and community. As the night wrapped with Pope Leo XIV's helicopter exit to deafening applause, the crowd left buzzing with inspiration to carry that hope forward. Whether you're a lifelong Il Volo stan or just discovering their magic, this performance showed how music can touch the deepest parts of us. What Il Volo song would you want them to bring to the next big faith event? Or if you could be at the next Jubilee, what moment would you chase? A concert, a prayer vigil, or a glimpse of the Pope? Smash that like button if this got your heart racing. Subscribe for more dives into music that moves us. And hit the bell so you don't miss our next video. Share this with a friend who needs a spark of inspiration. And let's keep the conversation alive in the comments. What's your takeaway from this epic night? Keep the faith and the music cranked up. What song would you want them to perform at a future event? Or if you could attend the next Jubilee, what would you hope to experience? Hit that like button if this got you excited. Subscribe for more deep dives into epic music moments and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video. Share this with a friend who needs some inspiration today, and let's keep the conversation going in the comments. Until next time, keep the faith and the music playing.